Okay, so before I get to topic, if you're someone who disagrees with my take on this and thinks I'm just being a hater, I request you to watch the video carefully and then tell me exactly where I'm wrong. Genuinely interested to know. But if you simply can't find a logical argument against what I'm saying and will just resort to trolling and name calling, then please just don't bother hesitating to leave a comment as I get interactions either way. Thank you, dorks. Yes, I know the World Cup ended like 2 weeks ago, okay? I have a calendar, shut up. But this channel hasn't always been about keeping up with the current affairs, you see. It's more just me seeing absolutely brainless sporting takes on the internet and calling it out / throwing my 2 pennies in. And sorry, but today's take for me is possibly even more frustrating than the last one. Cause yes, I have come to learn that there are people who actually think Lionel Messi not only deserved the golden ball, but had a great or even goated individual World Cup. BS. And before I can elaborate any further on that, let me make one thing perfectly clear. I am not saying the guy had a bad tournament. He won the damn thing. This is my honest take. Messi had a very good tournament which people are mistaking for either great and at times brainlessly goated. In other words, Messi's 2022 World Cup campaign, while still very good, has been insanely overrated. And here's why. So if you judge it from an overview of statistics alone, Lionel Messi seemingly could not have had a better individual showing. The guy scored in every knockout game, but honestly, none of those games produced his best moment of the tournament. I believe this is going a bit under the radar, but Messi's goal against Mexico in the group stages wasn't just one of the most crucial moments of the World Cup, but also one of the most crucial moments of his entire career. Cause look at the wider picture, people. After a poor performance in the first game, the guy was again completely shut out for an hour in this game, with everything seemingly going against him, his teammates seemingly helpless, his coach seemingly out of ideas, and with pundits at halftime claiming defenders aren't scared of him anymore. Against all the odds, the great man produces that great moment. And from that moment on, whenever the game opened up in the subsequent matches, Messi was able to show his class. For example, his relative game-to-game consistency at 35 years of age, his 4 successful penalties, sucker haters, they're not as easy as you think, and I'm sure the European giants out there would gladly line up and kiss his feet for taking a 0 off Guardiola's price tag. Again, very good tournament. However, do you honestly believe he deserved the golden ball? Bro, I'm sorry, but let's for 1 second ignore Gary Lineker's "what a joyous footballer" and the weight of past nonsense and look at things objectively for a change. Because despite his heroics, Messi made some huge mistakes and disappeared in crucial parts of games this tournament, all of which would have been proven extremely costly had it not been for his teammates, who he supposedly carried to the cup, bailing him out. And in the pain of all you Messi fanboys, let's go through these mistakes one by one. So straight up, again, him scoring the penalties should not be counted against him. Forget me, even he will tell you that penalties are not easy. But as far as him quote-unquote carrying the team, you know how many of his 4 successful spot kicks he won himself? 0. Believe me, he had a lot of help. Some may say not just from his teammates. And in addition, he was completely neutralized against Saudi Arabia and was partly at fault for one of their goals since he was caught in transition as usual, or a little more than usual since he actually lost possession 21 times in that game. A high figure even for him. He did nothing at 0-0 against Poland but missed the only penalty he won himself, a penalty which, in a campaign where the Argentinians were lucky with many questionable decisions, this was by far the worst call of all. And as it stood at the time, Argentina were heading out and Messi simply couldn't do anything about it. Until, of course, his teammate, the gentleman from Brighton who looks like Aaron Ramsey but is named after the Home Alone kid, broke the deadlock, took the pressure off him, and surprise surprise, Messi began balling again. Similarly, he was dominated against Croatia and didn't get a kick until another dodgy penalty opened the game up, and despite his world-class assist in the Netherlands game, he was extremely lucky to have escaped the sending off as he avoided one potential yellow for a needless handball and one stonewall yellow for taunting the opposition while he was already on a yellow. Work that one out. And in the final against France, he scored 2 goals. One more dodgy penalty he had nothing to do with winning, and a goal at extra time that shouldn't have stood as there were Argentinian subs on the pitch. Oh, it's true. And speaking of extra time, not only did he escape another obvious booking, but he was one of the main reasons the game even got to that point, since, once again, he was carelessly caught cold by the capitalizing and cunning Kingsley Coman in the lead up to Mbappe's second goal. And if you really want to nitpick, his legendary goal against Mexico could also potentially be judged to not stand, as Julian Alvarez may have obstructed the Mexican keeper's view from an offside position. So... Look, yes, the last one is just me being an absolute Nancy about the entire thing. But in a tournament where Enner Valencia was denied an opening game hat-trick because of this, not to mention every millisecond of stoppage time counting in every game, you really would expect VAR to pick at least a couple of these things out. So yes, of course I'm magnifying the guy's mistakes on purpose to prove my point. Because the truth is, as I said, despite those errors and what were in the main Jekyll and Hyde displays, he still had a decent tournament. And ultimately, one way or another, his side indeed won. So that would take a decent individual tournament to a very good overall tournament. But great? Or deserving of the golden ball? Get the f*** out. Sorry, but Kylian Mbappe, who scored the most goals in the tournament while being mildly more consistent, significantly more dominant, and exponentially more dangerous than Messi, and Antoine Griezmann, my personal pick, who was basically 2 players in one in practically every game, will both miss out because of what? This verdant-vested, volubly voiced, yet verbally vulgar, visibly vehement, and vastly vexing vile-veined villain from Villa saving a couple of their teammates' penalties? Just no. And oh boy, if you were angered by any of that, then please switch off now, because what I'm about to say will undoubtedly be the toughest part yet to digest for all of you. So, check this out. On an individual level, Lionel Messi's World Cup 2022 was very similar to Cristiano Ronaldo's Euro 2021. Messi in 2022 scored 7 goals, 4 penalties, none he won himself, and provided 3 assists in 7 games. Played great in a half each against Australia, Mexico, Croatia, Poland and France, while being anonymous for the entirety of the Saudi game and good in the entirety of the Holland game. In contrast, Cristiano Ronaldo in Euro 2021 scored 5 goals, 3 penalties, 1 he actually won himself, and provided 1 assist in 4 games. And not only that, CR7 did it against significantly tougher opposition on average. A spirited Hungarian side who went on to show their worth in the next 2 games, a forever dangerous German side who he toyed with, then current world champions France, and then current number 1 ranked Belgium, who only seemed under Portuguese threat when Ronaldo came out of the box and got involved in the link-up. So, despite having near identical statistics and actually being more consistent than Messi in 2022, Ronaldo's performance in the Euros got him nowhere near the player of the tournament. Yet, Messi's performances on a similar level is somehow deserving of him winning the Golden Ball at the bloody World Cup? You seriously can't be serious. And yes, look, football is a team game and an individual should be judged on how he contributes to his team being successful. So yeah, Messi's team success ultimately does mean he had a better tournament than Ronaldo's Euros. But considering everything above, if you still for a second believe the guy actually carried Argentina, football probably isn't for you. And if you still think he deserved the Golden Ball and or Ballon d'Or purely off that World Cup showing, all I can say is, my friend, I applaud your loyalty. Apply it to your personal life and you'll see it really does go a long way. And that is that. Agree or disagree beats indifference. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and share. And of course, subscribe. Till next time, Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves. And as always, keep on rolling.